Am I the asshole for telling my parents that they neglected me because of my brother's illness? So, I'm a 16-year-old girl and I have an older brother who is 20 and he moved out about 2 months ago. My brother has misophonia. I don't know everything about the illness and I don't want to say anything wrong, but it's basically being triggered by certain sounds. He was diagnosed at 7 when I was 4 and he has a very strong version of the illness, I think. Me and my brother used to get along okay, but it got worse after that. Funnily enough, all of his triggers were connected to me. My laughing, my walking, my eating, everything seemed to trigger him. I remember my father yelling at me when I was like 6, because I laughed while my brother was also in the car. I wasn't allowed to eat dinner with them. My parents would eat with him, and when he was finished, he could leave, and then I could get my food. I didn't even really understand what was going on, because I was a little kid. I was often alone, because I couldn't go anywhere with them and would trigger him, and when we did something together, it didn't feel the same. Because even alone, I was always scared to do something wrong and get yelled at. Even in school, I would barely talk or laugh. I was never very close with my family and spend most time alone in my room or with friends outside. Since my brother moved out, my parents are trying to get me to connect with them more. This morning, my mom asked me if I wanted to go see a movie with her, and I was already in a bad mood, because I was stressed due to exams. So, I sorta just snapped and told her I didn't want to and to stop trying to fix things with me, because it was ruined and that she couldn't fix the neglect they put me through simply by watching a movie with me. She then yelled back at me and told me to stop being jealous of my brother, and that they were doing the best they could, and that they didn't want to neglect me and just tried to take care of my brother. I just left after that, and both my parents have been ignoring me all day, and now I feel kinda bad. I still really love them.
Am I the asshole for not allowing my siblings and siblings' little kids to dictate what goes in the house I got for me and sick parent? I'm a single income no kids whose parent is very sick. I've taken them in to live with me. No one else offered, which is fine because I'm happy to have them. And what do I care what anyone else does anyway? This has made my house where the family congregates. As it's a new place I got for my parent and I to share. I'm looking to furnish it now and getting a lot of pushback that X, Y, and Z aren't kid friendly. It's my damn house. Watch your kids when you're here or don't bring them. Why do I need to bubble wrap everything or not display certain things, or in a case that blows my mind, not buy nice couches because you are certain your kid ass will destroy them? I want my couches. I don't want some ragtag ass couches simply because they are suitable fodder for children to destroy freely. My siblings say if I don't cater to them, I'm not being considerate and that they just can't visit our sick parent. I tell them they can watch their kids while here or arrange for their ass. Oh, to do so here or at their place, but that, until they pay these bills, I should be the one deciding how it's furnished. Please tell me I'm not the asshole because I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend I would have preferred lunch over groceries when his card declined at the store? Today, my boyfriend, 30 male, and I, 30 female, were working from home, and we didn't have many groceries at home to cook a decent meal with. My boyfriend offered to go get me lunch as I was quite hungry, but busy with work. A very nice offer which I joyfully accepted, asking for some $11 sushi from the grocery store. After a rather long period of time, the store is about 5 minutes away, and he came back after approximately 40 minutes. He comes back with a bag of groceries such as cherries, a block of cheese, Cheerios, milk, a jar of capers, a rather hodgepodge grouping of items. He explained how his card declined, as he's been having some issues with incorrect fraud charges. So he called the bank, etc., but they couldn't immediately authorize a larger charge. He only had $40 to spend on the car, so he got the groceries instead. I listened to this tale, a bit impatient as I was quite hungry by this point, and had been expecting the meal he said he would bring. As he concluded his story, I said, likely in a notably disappointed tone, "Got it. I would have preferred lunch, to be honest. I'm going to go get the sushi." Boyfriend got pretty upset right off the bat, immediately raising his voice to say I was being ungrateful, and that he could have made lunch with the items he had bought. I left, probably with eye-rolling energy TBH, to acquire my lunch and figured he might cool off, as it wasn't that big of a deal in my mind. I was bummed that he told me he would do a nice thing for me, and didn't follow through. He was annoyed I wasn't more grateful for getting groceries. When I got back, he said I was being a B*****, that he was doing a nice thing, and I should be appreciative. My response was to laugh at that reaction, and then just leave the room as it seems. So, preposterous to me to have that large of a reaction to saying, I would have preferred lunch in the middle of a busy workday. In my view, if you tell someone you're going to get them lunch when they're hungry, you prioritize delivering on that offer because you stick to your word. Or at a minimum, you shoot them a text to say it didn't work out. I also think it's within reason to express disappointment, and then move on. In his mind, I'm being really rude and ungrateful for his initial offer, noting that we frequently buy each meals, so it's not an uncommon offer on either side. Am I the asshole for accepting inheritance from elderly client instead of giving it to his estranged kids? This is strange, but I inherited my former client's house. I'm 28, and I was his part-time caregiver for 3 years. His kids live across the country, and have maybe visited him twice. I was there every day to help with groceries, appointments, and just to keep him company. He had no one else. Last month, he passed away and his lawyer called to let me know that I was in his will as the sole beneficiary for his house. The kids are completely unhinged, saying I put an old lonely man under some sort of spell. But honestly, where were they when he was struggling and had less than 5 people in his life? The house is worth probably $200K, which would completely change my life. His kids are saying they will contest the will. They go on about how blood family should mean more than some other person, but they couldn't even pick up the phone to call him on holidays.
Am I the asshole for calling out my kid's teacher for talking down to me? I was at my daughter's teacher conference. I was still wearing my work clothes. I am an electrician, and uniform is somewhat dirty. I start talking to me in a baby voice using very simple words and speaking slowly. Your daughter needs help with her math homework. Do you know what fractions are? I have accrued 60 college credits and I read all the time, but I guess since I fit the blue-collar mold I must be stupid. I kept my cool though and asked her if she always assumed the level of intelligence of parents based on what clothes we wear. She started getting defensive like she was only trying to be helpful and didn't mean anything by it. I told her that in the future I would rather she talk to me like a normal person. Now my wife thinks I made the teacher look bad for no reason, and I should have let it go because she meant well. I feel like that was pretty disrespectful though.